So before we began this session, I told Christina about the blocks in her chakras. After we've done that work, can you take a quick look at the body and let me know if you're seeing any dark spaces, just as if you were shining a flashlight through the physical body. Tell me what you see.
The root chakra has been cleared. I see the light shining through it, front to back. Sacral chakra is clear. The heart chakra that was out of balance is clear. Higher heart is clear. Um, then it was crown chakra, correct? Was the next one.
We've got your throat and third eye, and then the crown.
Okay. Throat is still balanced and clear. Third eye as well. And the crown as well.
Wonderful. And how do those higher chakras look? The soul chakra, the spirit, the galactic and universal chakras.
They have been cleared out. She has a clear and open channel right now for energies to flow through.
Beautiful. And how is her physical body feeling at this moment?
Relaxed.
Wonderful.
She had moments when you started where her arm was twitching and she was pretty sure that was an entity, is what she was coming up with, and she had some in her leg twitching, but that was very abnormal for her to experience. But those have been cleared up.
Good.
They're not doing it
And,
anymore.
and so before we began, I did have that there were entities possibly attached to her. Are they still there?
Yes, there are some.
Tell me where they are.
Head, heart, thigh. There's in their head, heart, and thigh.
Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and address these entities. Which one would you like to start with?
Thigh.
All right. Let's go ahead and have this energy come up, and we're going to allow this entity to speak. Come on up out of the thigh and tell us who you are, please, and what you're doing there.
Azazel. I've been here for a long time. And
Who
went
are you?
undetected for a long time. Azazel.
Can you spell that for me?
Azael.
I'm sorry, my sound is too low. One more time, please.
Azael.
Okay. And how long have you been there on this body?
14 years.
And why did you decide to come and attach yourself to her?
I was sent to her.
Who sent you?
Her mother. It was a contract that was written.
And is this contract complete at this time?
The contract was terminated. She did not uphold her part.
The mother did it, or Christina did not?
The mother,
Okay. What was this contract for?
for her soul, which the mother could not provide, and is now getting turned their back around onto her. But I have remained here due to the
Okay.
energy.
And so, how has this negative energy been affecting her?
It keeps her stuck and stagnant, keeps her doubting herself. It's also been draining her physically. She's tired a lot.
Okay. So, how big is this group that you're connected to?
Pretty big, pretty large.
Well, what I'd like to do is I'd like to ask you to check in with the others to see if they're ready to go back to source.
There are some that are saying no, no, no. They have a lot of fear around that. There are some that are ready.
For those that have fear, I want to do a little exercise with you. I want you to look into your soul, and I want you to find that spark of light within you. Are you familiar with it?
Yes, but haven't tapped into that in a long time.
I want you to look at it now, and together we're going to brighten it. We're going to start to light it up, turning it from a small flame into a large torch within yourself. And you're really doing all the work. And how do you look now?
Bright,
And how do you feel?
lighter, more
And
like myself again.
before you leave, I want you to reach out to the angelic realm. I'm going to ask my team to come and assist. How do you feel when you see them?
Disappointed in myself.
Ask them to come closer. See that you're able to forgive yourself and that they accept you. And now, how do you feel?
Loved and supported.
Now, as you're still connected to that large group, how many souls are part of that group?
210.
Out of these 210, can you share with them the experience that you just went through and tell them how you did it? For those that are afraid, especially.
the others are ready to do the same.
Let's go ahead and ask them to go ahead and do that now. Are they all bright?
Yes,
And why had they chosen to stay behind?
fear.
Is there anything that
Didn't
anyone from the group or yourself would like to share with us before we send you back into the arms of the angels, the healing angels, and your families?
Yes, thank you. We've needed to do this for a long time, but have not. Thank you for the encouragement to do so today. It's been time.
So before you go, I want you to collect all the cords that you have attached to her. Pull them all out. Don't leave anything behind. And if any of the group have attached to her through you, make sure that those are all removed as well. And you tell me when it's done.
It is done.
Beautiful. And while you've done this beautiful, beautiful work, do you want to take a quick look around the energy around me and see if there's any around me that are ready to go?
There's one to your right. But they are now pulling their energy away.
And tell me
And I see them.
tell me when that's all done and clear.
Clear.
Wonderful. And for the terminated contract, is there any work that we need to do there?
Heart healing. And that's just
That's,
some issues with her mother. She stays under serious attack from her mother. And it's always been this way. She handles it well, but deep down to her core, it hurts her bad.
so since she sent you, let's go ahead and ask her soul, or her higher self probably might be better, to come in for a quick conversation if she agrees.
She agreed and she is here.
Okay. So Mom, we want to ask, what is this, what is this energy that you're directing toward Christina, and why?
From jealousy, envy, wanting to be her.
Are you ready to do this heart healing and to release this jealousy and envy, and knowing that you have
Not
to be
really.
yourself?
Not really.
Well, as you can see from this work, she's very protected. And you may continue to go ahead and have your lower frequency decisions. That's okay. You're entitled to your route. But just know that her guidance and her protection and knowing how loved she is won't be affecting her the same way anymore.
Yes, she's already made that clear to me.
Well, we offered you some healing, so I hope you'll consider letting that go in the future and making a decision, since you have free will, to start to move in another direction. Because as you know, these lower and heavier energies will cause illness within you.
They already have.
And you know that can be healed. It's still your decision and choice.
I'll think about it. I
Well,
have a
we
lot that
think,
I'm suffering from now because of things I've done to her and others.
is this an okay to find forgiveness one with another?
I've never been good with that.
Always time for change. Nothing like the present. When she was born, do you not remember how much you loved her?
When she was born, I felt jealousy right away.
And was this past life karma?
Yes,
Let's go ahead and release that old past life karma.
been clear.
Wonderful. Are you ready to forgive one and another?
Yes,
Let's go ahead and offer that forgiveness now. Are you wanting to tell your daughter now how much you love her? It's easier to
yes,
say in the spirit. Easier to say in the spirit than it is face to face, and we understand that. We understand the hardships of being in the physical body.
yes. And I'm sorry for everything I've done. You never did anything to deserve any of the stuff that I've done to you. I'm very sorry for that.
Thank you, and thank you for your beautiful opening of your heart. Christina, is there anything you'd like to say to your mother at this time?
I forgive her and I just want her to heal herself. But I
Thank
will still
you.
keep her out of distance from my life. That I will do. That she is forgiven. That I will not let her back in my circle ever again.
And that is your choice. And we thank you both for the forgiveness and the heart healing work that you've done today. We go ahead and release your mom at this time. Adiel, are you ready to go and take your group with you? And all the souls who've agreed to go ahead and take their cords and head on back up to source.
Yes, we are ready.
I go ahead and release you now. Thank you for your work. And thank you for your willingness to forgive yourself and go back and find the love of source to each and all of you.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. And Christina, asking your higher
Yes,
self Once more. Let's go ahead and take a look at where all those cords were pulled out. What do you want to put in its place?
Unconditional love.
I think I'll do the same for my own. Let's bring in unconditional love. Is there a color that you'd like to use?
I'm feeling purple and turquoise today. I don't know why.
Okay,
My colors.
let's bring in those colors, purple and turquoise. Feeling it rushing in, just like a fire hose, filling up all the gaps in all the cells and the space in between. And tell me when that's done.
It is done.
Yes, it's done on my part as well. Thank you. And where is this next spot that we need to address?
The heart. Higher
Let's go
heart.
ahead and take a quick look at the heart.
She needs some water.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
Thank you. Let's go ahead and ask this entity that's at the heart. Go ahead and step forward and use your voice.
Yes, I'm Amandel.
Pardon me?
I am Amadel.
Amadil?
Amadel. Yes.
Greetings. Can you tell me what you've been doing there in her heart and how long you've been there?
Been here since her childhood. I have been siphoning her energy from her. We were able to be here due to traumas that she had went through that allowed us to step in.
And did you have a life here on Earth?
Yes,
And when you say we, are there others connected with you as well?
yes.
And how many?
10.
Okay. And how has your energy been affecting her besides the low energy?
We keep her thinking about things that have made her sad, that the trauma she went through. We replay them over and over in her mind. No matter how hard she tries not to focus on it, it still comes up. She's been ready to release it, but we have to keep her reminded of it constantly.
I see. Well, she's definitely ready to release it now. So I think that's what we're going to do.
We
So,
understand.
so what I'd like you to do is similar to the others. Go ahead and start to pull your cords out. And while you're pulling these cords out, I'd like you to tell me, what year was it that you passed away?
1982.
And how did you lose your life?
It was taken.
And is that why you
was
feel
not-
like you needed to take her life force energy?
Yes.
And what about the others that are with you? These other 10?
They're a lot like me. They were souls wandering, and they were able to get in, and then they didn't want to leave.
I see. So at this time, can you make sure that not only are all of your cords taken out, but all of theirs are as well?
Yes, you're doing that now.
Wonderful. And now, similar to the last group, we're going to ask you to brighten up the light within you and ask them all to do the same.
It is done.
And for these other 10, were they all also recent deaths?
Some are, some are not. Some are souls that have been in this astral realm for a long time. And this is where they reside.
And so, did they stay behind because when they died, they didn't know how quickly it happened? Unexpected death?
And then some they were afraid and didn't understand where they were, what happened.
Okay. Let's go ahead and have them nice and fully bright now.
Yes, it was done.
And their cords are all removed.
Yes,
Okay. Let's send the first 5 back. And ask them what their experience is.
they are happy. The rest would like to join me now.
Yes, send them now. And thank you for stepping forward out of the group to be spokesperson.
Thank you for your help today.
You're welcome. And who's waiting for you as you arrive at the, I'll just call them the gates. What do you see?
My wife, family pet, some angels,
Any others to greet you?
that's what I'm seeing.
Wonderful. Is there anything you'd like to say to Christina before you go?
We were just telling her, say before you said that, just telling her I'm sorry. And we really do. We do love and support her. We've actually admired her during our time here. And we hope the best for her.
Thank you for that beautiful message. And Christina, anything you'd like to say to them before they go?
I'm happy that they are going where they belong.
Yes,
They deserve to be there and to move forward with their journey.
thank you. Thank you for that beautiful love and support. Going ahead and releasing you now back to source. Enjoy your journey in love and light. And now, taking a look at this body where all the gaps are. What do we need to fill this gap or gaps where the cords were extended out into her being?
Joy and happiness again.
Bringing in joy and happiness. And what color would you like to use with joy and happiness? Or you could use a flower if you like.
Yellow and the sunflower.
All right. Filling those energies up with yellow sunflowers and the color yellow. Tell me when it's done.
It is done, but she's just enjoying the feeling now.
Mm. Let's let her enjoy it for a moment before we start with the next one.
She enjoys these energies a lot. She always
Beautiful.
puts a smile on her face.
Yes, that happens when you start to lighten up. Tell me if she's ready to do the next work or if she needs to get another
She's
drink.
ready.
Okay,
She will
let's
take
go
you up
ahead.
on the drink, though.
All right. Just let me know when you're ready.
Ready?
Okay, let's go ahead and ask this attachment, this energy that's in the head, to let's go ahead
Yeah.
and come forward and speak. Can you tell me who you are, please, and what you're doing there?
Tueva? What am I hearing?
Tueva?
Yeah. Alien.
And where are you from?
Hankar.
Can you spell that for me?
Hankar.
And why are you there in her head?
We are here to place an implant.
Did you just show up today or have you been there?
We have been here for a couple months.
Why is it taking so long?
The first implant was removed. They came to put another one, but there was complications with it.
And what was this implant to do and the prior one?
Monitor her and the information she's getting.
And was this implant being used for nefarious purposes?
Yes and no. That was not the original intent, but other people have chose in the collective to use some of the information for nefarious reasons.
So how many implants does she have in her now?
Two,
And are these both from your group, from HandCap?
yes,
And what type of an implant?
one that tracks her and and her thoughts.
And what does it look like in its shape?
Round oval shape. It's up on the left side of her brain, to the top of her head.
And what is your connection with this being that you're wanting to track her?
We were sent here just doing as we were told.
And who is the director to tell you to go and do this?
The people that I work for, it's the people in charge.
And how many people are on your planet?
It is a very populated community, but compared to other places, it's very small in comparison.
Hmm. And are you in our galaxy or another?
Another.
Interesting. So our galaxy is pretty protected, so I'm not sure how you got in and through. But what I'd like you to do is go ahead and pull those implants out from her. And tell me when that's done.
Done.
And then how many other people on this earth have been implanted by your kind?
She had about 25 other people.
Well, at this point, I'm going to connect in with their higher selves and ask them to allow permission to have them removed as well. They don't
They're
want to be
not happy
trapped.
about it.
They do not want to be tracked. Go ahead and remove those implants. If you need to send other team members to do that, but I believe that you have that multidimensional travel available.
It's being done.
On our planet, we have a thing called permission. So if you have not been given permission, it's not really appropriate to put things into people's bodies without their permission. So we like to have this agreement going forward that you will not interfere with Earth and the beings on Earth unless you have their express permission. In their wide awake state, not in some unconscious or subconscious form, and not a prior agreement with any other beings that may have been a part of them previously.
We understand.
Christina, is there any other thing that you'd like to share with them before I send them back to their galaxy?
No. No, there's not. I just want them gone.
All right, pulling them completely out of the head now and remove any additional cords that you may have linked into this body and into the other beings. And for those other individuals, we're going to put source light into the location where the implants were removed and the cords taken out. And now, in our typical loving fashion, are you helping the universe?
Some think they are, but I don't agree. I think we should be doing more than what we are currently.
Well, I'd like you to send back this request that as they go about their work in the universe, that they have consideration for the beings, regardless of what life form state you think that they're in, especially for sentient beings, but truly all beings. And as one of our good friends say, mind your own business. So hopefully going forward, if there's relationships with our universe or our galaxy or our Earth in the future, it'll be done through the correct channels and not through some back door. That's our request to you and to your people, your collective. Please go ahead and release everything now, and we send you on your way.
They are gone.
Wonderful. And now what energy do we need to bring back in for the implant removals?
Connection. Like connection to source and all of this, who she is.
Wonderful. And now, if I may ask you, to take a quick look in my right temple because I am feeling this energy in my right temple. What is that energy?
I see dark energy, that like something black.
Let's go ahead and remove that now. I get the sensation that they're trying to work on me to distract me from the goal at hand.
That won't work.
Yes, you and I both know that. But asking my light team to pull them back. Thank you. And then what are we pulling into the space?
Connection to source, to herself, and to the earth. She wants to
Okay.
feel her connection expand more. Now with these attachments gone.
All right. Asking source to go ahead and send that energy in now. And asking for the earth energy to also have additional strengthening of connection. And how is his body looking now?
Much better. Cleared.
And let's take a quick glance at the auric field. Are there any holes in her aura?
Just the ones you observed before.
And have we sealed and closed those now?
Yes.
Okay, doing that and sending the violet flame around. Transmuting all and clearing all that energy. It is done, it is done, it is done. And now I'm going to ask a question that she added right at the end about the 7 sisters. What can you tell us about the 7 sisters?
They are energies that do come from the Pleiades. They helped initiate life on this earth. They are working through her and you as well. And the other being, there's other beings as well. Some of them you know, some has not come into your circle yet.
Yes. And which sister is she?
Electra.
And this leads me into one of the questions that she has about beings having the same beingness. Let me get to it specifically. Explain why there are many incarnations of the same soul, where one may have the actual physical incarnation, but many embody the aspect of that soul's energy once the soul's physical being is not living. So I know that another in our group also has this Electra energy.
There are many that are from the same soul group. They carry that same essence. And let's just say we have a backup for our backups for our backups in case somebody with their free will chooses to go a different path, then there's still somebody else that can play that role if they choose to.
I do like the backup idea. And
Yeah.
which of the sisters, I have an idea already, but which of the sisters would you say I am?
I'm trying to remember how to say the name. I'm sure it's with T. Tigale or
Is it possible that I have more than one of the sisters' energies within me?
well, all of them work with all of you. You are connected with all of the energies of the sisters. But there is the one that chooses their primary person they want to work with.
I see. That makes sense.
When you all come together, then that will be completing the connection, and you will be able to lock in those energies here on this planet for yourself and for others. It will be like the uniting of the seven sister energy here on the planet. It will be very profound effects on the earth that it will have once this is done, and for yourselves.
I see. Thank you for that. I think that also answers the other question regarding how planet Earth embodied was created.
Yeah.
The
There were
seven
many
sisters.
hands that played a role with that, but the seven sisters are a key ingredient to all of life here, as well as other star systems as well. This is a role that has been played in many different star systems for many different lifetimes. That is very valued and needed. And that's why you guys find yourself fully supported on this journey, because of all that
Wonderful.
you do for this earth.
Thank you. That makes perfect sense. So in the beginning, I also was getting information that she has cords going into her. Were these cords going in the entities that we've already removed?
Yes,
Thank you. Now, she asked the question regarding Chris and his soul. She's gotten the information that she may be in danger. What's the reality there?
that is a potential. She's already experienced signs of worry with that, and he has been known to do this in past lives. She doesn't feel that he would do it to her in this life, and we don't think so either. But you never know sometimes with a person what they're capable of until they're in a certain moment.
Well, let's go ahead and bring her into the timeline where that lower frequency energy is not possible.
She's thrilled about that.
Pardon me?
Said she's thrilled to hear about that.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. And then that is complete. Tell me if you see the new timeline.
Yes.
Very good. Now, she had another experience with, there was an Asian TV show, and she recognizes it as playing out her past life with different aspects in heavenly realms. She's curious about that, along with her divine counterpart. What is she learning from this back then and now?
They were trying to remind her of her connection into that relationship that she has with her divine masculine within. It was to bring her confirmation about things that she's wondered for a while. But it was also to help her get in touch with the love in her heart again. To be
Beautiful.
brave enough to open herself up.
And has she opened her heart further now with some of the healing that we've done today?
Yes, she has. That's one thing she's always been open to, no matter how much she gets hurt. She still loves. She'll
What a
close
beautiful
herself
gift.
off a little, but then she'll open herself back up again.
Beautiful gift. Is there anything else she needs to know about that?
Her suspicions of what is to come are accurate, but just wait. Let everything happen. Don't try to know everything, but just know that you won't be disappointed. You deserve this. Allow yourself to be happy. Allow yourself to be loved. Allow you to love yourself and share that love with others. It's what you do best.
Thank you. Is there anything that you can tell us about the true story of Isis, Osiris, and Horus and the incarnation that she lived in?
Yes, there is a lot of distortion, as she knows they put out there regarding that story. But there is a lot of allegory into those stories, a lot of different meanings, which she has decoded some of those and discovered that true meaning of what the statement was really meaning behind it.
Is there anything else you want to let her know at this time about that she has not discovered?
In time, all will reveal itself to her. These are one of the things they're wanting her to experience on her journey, coming to the awareness herself, to experience remembrance and acknowledgement.
Wonderful, thank you. So we've also talked about her connection to Lemuria. Now we know about this golden age and that it was many years and sometimes paths of lives have crossed. How many lives did she live in Lemuria?
4.
And who
4
was
different lives.
she? Or who is it that she wants to know that's connected to this life?
She is the keeper of the wisdom, the keeper of the keys. Deep down, she knows who she is, but she doubts it a lot. It's hard for her to believe, just like you. You have a little bit more of a bigger role that you play in this whole game here, this whole big production. It's hard for her to fathom it sometimes, as it is with any of you, but she knows in her heart.
Yes, I've
Those
seen much of the
beings,
game.
oh, sorry, I was just saying those beings that were attached were kind of influencing her doubts a lot and questioning herself. So that we should start seeing clear up really quickly for her and her start coming into more acceptance and ownership of who she is and remembrance of who she is.
Wonderful. Now I know I have the keys for many codes as I don't want to call myself a key holder, but I know that I have been given access to, I want to
That
say
you
all the
are.
keys.
That you are.
Are these the same as
Eh,
the Lemurian keys?
There's many different keys, but you guys are equals on this journey. All of you
Beautiful.
sisters that will be coming together are equals as well, and all can attain and do the same thing that the other does. Your souls are very advanced and have been through very many initiations throughout your lifetime.
Hmm.
Your creator beings. So the possibilities are endless for you guys and what you're capable of and what you bring forward to the table here. Don't ever limit yourself with labels because you're so much more than those labels.
Yes, but I think it's part of our game is to discover all these interesting names and associations. The puzzle
Yes,
pieces that I,
especially her.
the puzzle
Yes,
pieces that I like
especially
putting
her.
together as well.
Yeah. Um,
This last weekend, I found myself being drawn to wanting to purchase puzzles so I could put the pieces together.
oh, I love that metaphor right there that you just put out. Yeah. Many times, though, it's very good. And in order for you to know where you're going, you must know where you have been. For some, sometimes it can hurt some people to know. You guys are beyond that. But along the journey, we do like people to also be able to focus on the here and now and try not to get hung up as well on things that they have been because it keeps you in those past energies instead of focusing on right now. So that's why we have held back a little bit from her throughout the journey. But even when we tried to hold back, she would find things out.
Mm.
So it's in you guys. You can't, it's very easy for her to access it. She has a little bit of fear when it comes to channeling. It's not fear per se, but it's more of doubt. And it's been partly those attachments and then partly things from like her mother and everything that she's went through that's been in her mind, those negative thought forms that have kept her from fully tapping in and embracing what she can do on her own. But just since working with you, Wendy, it's opened her up more, and she has been tapping in and accessing more of those gifts and abilities and realizing that she's capable of more, which has been very good for her.
I love hearing that.
Yeah. You
Does she get to
inspire
know?
her.
Oh, thank you. Does she get to know who her name was?
Elenia, Elenia,
Alania. Does that resonate? Alania? Or does Alania resonate?
that, that,
Alania.
Elenia. She's seeing like an image
Are
from
there,
that time back then now.
mm,
She's like picturing the timeline from then.
what does she see?
More of a feeling now. Feeling of just pure bliss. Feeling
Mm,
of being herself. Tapped into everything there is. Loving everything there is. Feeling all the earth and its energies and all that flows through it. It makes her soul smile.
Wonderful. Does she need to know the names of any of the other lives that she was in Lemuria?
Chicory,
Say that one more time.
chicory.
Chicory. And was that a masculine energy
Yes,
or female?
masculine.
And what was his role?
He was a protector and looked over and watched over the tribe, the community, the leader. She usually always is in leader roles. It's just part of who her soul is. No matter what's been placed in front of her, she could still rise up to the top every time. We're hoping she realizes that now and starts embodying that energy. Because that's what we need for her. That's what she needs from her to lead again, lead these people out of the darkness.
Well, she's in a group of leaders.
You guys are going to do amazing things together, the whole group. We're so excited to sit back and watch and see everything unfold before us. We're all anticipating what's to come.
Us too.
Mm.
Is there anything that you can tell me about kind of similar questions to her life in Atlantis?
Yes, she was like a princess in Atlantis, I guess you could say, what you guys would call like a princess. She was in the royal family. She
And
had
who was
a
I?
lot of disappointment in her from that time, just everything that happened. And before leaving the planet and knowing what was happening, it
Yes.
really destroyed her. It broke her heart so badly.
Yes, I have had that similar experience. And I was just going to ask, who were we to one another in Atlantis?
You were family. You were in each other's same family line and were in close contact together, as you are in many lifetimes. This is a role
Yes,
you guys choose to play.
I've discovered that we seem to have many lifetimes together as family members or cousins or grandmothers, and I mean, still family, right? grandmother, a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, and then switched roles for the next life.
You
So,
are daughters of source. You
yes.
are you are source's daughters, and not that source likes to say he has favorites, but you guys are up at the top of the list, you could say. So very many times you're going to be in many lives playing roles together and here in service and helping with your creation. So you're always going to have that connection interlinked together, and
Mhm.
you guys never mind that.
Yeah, I can see that. Um, Wonderful. So is that karma balanced at this time?
You guys have been clearing that out. What she's concerned about with that, yes, it has been cleared. And it really wasn't because of any choices that was made on your behalf. It was future generations, and everybody did the best that they could to not have something like that happen. But you can't control what other people choose with their free will. But you
Right.
had no problem stepping up to clear out that energy, though, that did need to be cleared from that family line, and it has been done.
Perfect.
We ask you for every choice that's been made throughout these lifetimes, just be kind to yourself and forgive and move past it. You have all done really great at learning from the lessons from the mistakes that were made in the past, and you've overcome them. So don't be too hard on yourself. We've all been learning together. This was the first time anything's ever been done whenever we've been doing it. So we made mistakes, but we've also had these chances to correct them, and you two have both excelled at correcting those mistakes and learning from them completely.
Wow. It's been a great life. Even with all the hardships and the trauma and drama. But as my other sister reminds me, isn't it fun, the dramedy?
The dramedy. I've got to use that in the future.
Yeah, that's why I said it.
That is beautiful.
Because
That's
it's that
beautiful.
beautiful little reminder of it's all a game, and our hearts get so easily involved and so easily bruised that when we remind ourselves it's a dramedy, then the healing can be done by ourselves so much quicker.
All of you are so the embodiment of love. So it is very hard for you guys not to experience those extreme moments of sadness and disappointment and this dramedy, as you say. But that's also your beauty. That's what we love about you guys. And you can see the difference, in how you handle situations and how other people do. And it's kind of a beautiful thing to sit back and witness for everybody throughout the galaxy, seeing how you handle things differently and how you're able to take such negative situations and turn them right side up again and bring the light into it. It's truly a gift that you guys have. That is
Mm,
so
fun.
needing to be learned by others right now.
Well, we're going to do our best to teach it. um, so, one question that Christina wanted to know is she connected to Lilith? And if so, tell us more about her. And if Hakati, if that's appropriate.
Yes, Hikari. These are energies that have stepped up to work with her in this lifetime, and they've worked with her in previous. For she knows that she is a light and dark angel. God made his angels both. How do you know how to defeat the darkness unless you've walked with that darkness? And she has gotten to the point now where she does have a whole entire other realm that is here working and helping with her. She's got assistance from both sides. So these are people that she can call on for help and support as well. And she has been learning to embrace not to fear those things anymore and not to look at them as different and realize that everybody is here playing apart for source. So it's helped her come around to these energies and not be as afraid of it as she once was. Well, she was never afraid of them, actually. That is totally wrong answer. This one's pretty fearless when it comes to those, but she was hesitant because of programming inside of her of whether those things
Yes.
would be something that she should embrace. But she's moved past that now. And that's part of why they're also wanting to step up and work with her and assist her at this time.
Yeah, I feel like there's a little bit of been there, done that experience
Yeah.
from me as well.
Yes. Yes. And just like
Uh,
you have people on that side as well that's here in support of you as well and here helping you. When people
right.
send things your way, they block it, they prevent it, they help you all along, and they're always going to be there for you too.
Yeah, cool. Excellent to know. Well, thank you for that.
Hmm. You're
So
welcome. Thank you.
she had she had some information when she was channeling some light language about building a communication device to speak with higher beings. Is there anything you can talk to us about this device?
Yes, it did confuse her because she said, I can already do that. I can channel. So why do I need a device? But this is something that will help be able to build that bridge of communication on a much deeper level, the messages to come more clearly and from further away, and open the doorway for other people to be able to tap into communicating with us as well, that aren't as, let's just say, as activated in those gifts and abilities as you guys are. So the design is in her mind. It will come to her. She downloaded this from her star family when they came. She has not been able to fully receive the full message yet, but it is coming, especially after today. I believe it's going to open up now for her
I
with
get
those blocks like out of the mind.
my experience was I saw this one unit that was built that had a connection to Atlantis. And when I saw it, I also had this sense of, oh, that's something that we need, or I need to construct something similar. And
Yes,
yeah, there's something like that in the back of my mind too. So I imagine we're all getting that download about the same time about this device. And
there will be
and
different
it's
technologies that you will be bringing forward that your higher selves are channeling to you that need, and when the time is right for it to be brought forward for humanity, it's going to be brought forward. It's going to
right.
help bring us
And
into that new golden era.
I see it more as natural forms being combined together versus
Yes,
actual technology. But it's
yes,
because you're connecting in with these natural forms that are combined that create the energy resonance that helps with that. I don't know. I'm trying to say
yes.
it without saying it, right?
Yeah, you're saying it correctly. And yes, she understand that too. Like she was seeing her friend seeing in the image, it was like limestone and wood and metals all coming together. That is all your natural elements. And just like with manifestation, you're bringing in these different elements that exist around you, but also within you. So it's kind
Right.
of that same concept. And it's like it creates its own technology once you bring those things together. But this is a time where we are starting to bring back this old information we once had that you two both hold within you very strongly because you were part of the people that brought it forward in the past. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a repeating of history, you could say. It's you guys coming back into that awareness that you once held and bringing it forward once again. That will help people realize that we can have things around us that you're not having to pay $1 million for all the time, like with electric bills and water bills and stuff, that you are able to tap into life force energy that is resides in other beings around you. And it can create things like electricity and, connection.
Right.
And
Right.
it's going to be a big revealing for humanity and for yourselves when you fully come back into that awareness and are starting the process of bringing it forward for everyone.
Mm,
but it's something that you guys have done so many times. It's so natural to you.
mm. Beautiful. So a dragon body that's related to our earth. And is that part of one of her lives?
Yes, very much so. She was created from two of the most powerful dragons there were, and that is a part of her soul in the essence. And the information she received about this was accurate. There's more information to come about this that she's not quite ready for yet.
And if
So I
she's a
don't think I can
part of a
share.
dragon body, oh gosh, now my team thinks they're funny. Is it the back end? It's
Oh
not quite
my
the word,
gosh.
not quite the word they used.
Would she be the ass? Oh, we find that
Oh my.
so amusing because this girl in this lifetime is known for her butt, and good God, does everybody make jokes about it? So it just is so fitting to hear you say that.
Team.
She's saying she'll own that proudly.
I think my dragon friends might be involved in that humor. It's hard to tell.
She's thoroughly enjoying it. She said she'll own it. She don't care. She'll be the ass.
Oh, I also heard that they wanted us to lighten up, and that was a
Yeah.
way to bring some bright humor into our session, which
She's dying
didn't.
for that more. She's in a horrible situation right now where like the people around her, they don't live. They don't have excitement and joy, and she's been in a horrible situation that has struggled to get away from, and she won't share her light like she used to here anymore. So she's had to hold back that part of herself,
Well,
and
as a
you're the
creator
only thing being
manifester,
around.
as a
Hmm.
creator manifester, why don't we step out of that, what she can't do, and start moving into what she can do? Because I feel
She
like
is
some of
working
that,
on that, and she's manifested it already. It's just in the process of coming to reality.
yes,
She's had a
yes,
lot
yeah.
of darker energies that are in these people that are trying to keep her where she's
Right.
at.
Well, it
So
didn't
she's
help
been fighting
that
against
she
it.
had the attachments too. So,
Oh yeah, she's been getting hit left and right, and we're really shocked to see her here where she is now, honestly, because most people could never do what she's done, and we really didn't think she'd be able to make it through this. So we are
well,
so pleased that she has.
I believe that's why our connection came at the time that it did. The whole divine timing, quote
Yes,
unquote.
no matter how much they attacked her and what they brought forward, she's made it through, and she wouldn't give up. It wasn't easy though, and that's taken the toll on her, with especially her heart. But she understands that it's the people and not her, and she knows what's going on around her the whole time, but she has been kind of in a situation where she didn't have many options. She has no
I see.
family. She has nobody to turn
So,
to. And so it's been one of those things where she didn't want to be homeless. And that was pretty much her only route at that time. But that's all changing. This has been part of the plan. And what Source is about to bring forward for her will make all that go away in the blink of an eye. And it's going to be far greater than she can imagine right
oh, beautiful news. So,
now. Yeah.
regarding the dragon, she had the sense that she was being drained, that they were taking her blood.
Well, that technically is true. Fossil fuel. They're draining that from the fossils of the earth, these fossils that are the dragons, but they are still alive. They've just been dormant. They're laying there kind of like in hibernation, and they have been pumping those fluids from their body that you guys are using in all these products around you now.
Right, I
There is
understand.
a little bit of a need for concern, but the situation is being handled. and she has nothing to fear. Just listen for the messages that are being brought forward for her, and she will be fine and able to maneuver through anything that is needed.
Perfect. We know that she'll get guidance and of course with our group. So she also wanted to find out about the Phoenix.
Yes, she very much is tied to the Phoenix. What she got before was correct. And about the counterpart, they are both the Phoenix energy. Once they unite, that creates a whole other Phoenix energy when the two come together. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to see when that moment happens, which is right around the corner for her. So not only does she need to be excited, but we're very excited because it's a very beautiful thing for a soul to experience. And she deserves to experience this.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Good things coming. So her career aspirations and the book?
Yes, she definitely knows we have been on her badly about getting the book going. It is very important. She is here to share her message. She is here not only to share the wisdom that she holds, but also to share her story and to share the stories of the others that she has, you know, intermingled with in her life journey, telling the stories of man and life and what they've gone through, the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. And Source thinks it's important that people hear and see how she handled situations compared to how a lot of the majority of people handle them, because it would truly inspire them to do things a different way that will help them step into who they are in a whole other way and help shift the energies here. She's done this in many lives. She's a scribe and an author. She's left text before for this world to follow and to guide them, and she is meant to do that in this life as well. She's here to lead the people into the new era, the golden era. And she's
Wonderful.
very passionate about that. She wants to set up a good future for everybody here, and she has a lot of work to do.
Mm.
The key thing is working on that book first. That is a big focus that we want her to focus on. But she has done good at right now. She actually knows exactly what to do. She has a goal set in her mind for when she receives her abundance coming in here soon. And she has already been laying out a map of what to do that's going to take her to a certain place. And that has all been channel guidance. She is doing good at listening because that's exactly where she needs to be and what she needs to focus on. And so there's really nothing I could even add to it right now because she has been hearing everything loud and
Wonderful.
clear and has her focus on that goal.
Now, I would like to ask, and maybe she already knows this. Actually, let me get clarity first. Who is her higher self that I'm speaking with?
Divine Mother, she is a fractal of the goddess. The goddess works
And,
through her in her lifetime.
and who are
She was
her
created for that.
beautiful?
She was created actually from Source itself, as to where other people, most
I
people
think
hold it essence, but Source created her soul. It wasn't created by one of the fractals of Source. She was created straight from Source.
I
As were you.
I was just gonna say, I know I have my connection and I've just been calling her Sophia. And I don't know if that's what I've heard or what my ego has inserted for Divine Mother.
That's what this one struggled with too, but then we had to keep impounding it into her because we needed her to realize in this lifetime it was actually important for her to know who she is, to be able to step up and to play the part that she came here to play. Same goes for you as well, Wendy. You need to realize, and and you have done well at this, but knowing who you are and exactly what you're able to do and where you came from, it's part of what you have to know to be able to lead and complete what you came here for. You two actually do share strongly, like in many lifetimes, family energy. And it's because you are family on that soul level and the galactic level. You are both family. You are both created from source and
Beautiful.
share many of the same DNA markers. You're very similar in your energies, you could say.
Yes, we definitely recognized one another immediately, even though we are distance apart.
Yeah.
So who, I was leading that into, who are her spirit guides? Who's her light team? The angelics, the galactics that are her light team?
Who is not in her light team? That would probably be a shorter answer to say.
Oh my God,
That
I
would be
always say that
easier.
same thing.
Yeah, like if you wanted me to list that, I hope you have like 3 hours to sit here because it would take forever. Um,
That is,
we have we have many
I,
beings that support
I,
her. I mean, there's nobody that you two, neither one of you could call on and they would not be there and showing up for you.
I've,
There
I've
is no limit
got
to
so
what you
many
can communicate
videos.
with.
I've got so many videos where I have said again and again, I can call on anyone and they will come for me. And I couldn't understand the why of that. But now this conversation pinpoints it. And my
Yes.
mind, my consciousness is kind of like going, aha.
She's dealt with that too, and like people not understanding, and like especially other channelers, when she began with the company Oracle that she's at, and like the first online thing they did, they don't understand her gift. Like she has a telepathic connection. She doesn't have to channel like per se the way that they do, and but she can still get the same exact information, and they're not used to that and didn't know how to handle it. They've even seen, like in most of them they only have like one being that they connect with, or a few, as where she's like, you name it, I can do it. And other people, it can
Right.
be intimidating to them, or they don't understand because they're used to seeing this certain structure that has been playing out on the planet of channeling, but they're not realizing like there are next level beings here as well that take it up a whole other notch. And that is you. You guys are the black sheep to the black sheep, as Christina likes to tell people. You are that whole other level. So these people that are always out there and they're saying that, oh, we never fit in, we were the black sheep, and like you guys are even black sheep to them. Because what you do is that next intimidating bracket that they're scared to get to and haven't achieved yet, and they don't understand. So it can be very hard on you guys on this journey because of that, but it's nothing you're not used to. Of course, with great achievement comes great responsibility. The more your soul evolves and the higher you go, the more you take on. And many
Yes.
people want to covet this and look at it like it's something great, and they all want to try to claim to be something, but they are not really ready for what is in store if they were in that role. And that's where you guys come in because you have kind of mastered being able to play that part, even with all the negative that comes with it, and you master it every lifetime. It's truly impressive, and they don't make them like you anymore.
Mm. So I know that there's something that Christina had said, or how you described how she felt about me. And I know I feel similarly about her, but my ego sometimes wants to step up and go, hey, what's going on here? And I have to remind my ego to settle down. And this is the work we're here to do, and kind of like hush. So is that just a strong ego? Is that the what we call the BS, the belief systems?
Yes, and she's dealt with that too. And it's so beautiful to see that you notice it, and she does the same. She'll be like, "Wait a minute, now that's just ego. Stop yourself." And she sits there and talks herself down, and that's something that many people struggle with. But you two are able to admit it and see that and own it and silence it, which is very good. You know, the ego is needed on this journey. You know, it is a part of you, and as
Yeah.
long as you reject it, you know, you're not going to be in balance. But you have learned to work with it and understand when it is not working for you. And there's nothing, no advice we could give you on that, because you have been doing exactly what you should need to do when those situations come up.
Yeah, and I
You,
feel like it's not really rejecting it per se, but more acknowledging it. And then that
yes,
seems to be suffice. Yes, suffice or
yes,
sufficient.
that is a perfect, it suffices it. It gets what it needs from that. By you acknowledging it and seeing it and accepting it, that's all it needs to clear that out. And
So
yes, you do that
this makes
perfectly.
perfect sense then for her next question regarding the work they did in Utah and feeling like each of these individuals were elements of water, air, fire, and earth. And was she sensing that correctly, or was it, and this is more of the sense of what I get, is that because of her role in access within Divine Mother, again, you just ask and you get it. So when she needed each of those elements worked with the individuals in the role that was needed at that moment. But if there's more in depth to that, can you speak to that?
You just helped expand her mind on that concept. So we thank you for that outlook. There are beings though that she did come here with in the beginning that did help play those roles when the Divine Mother created Earth. There was first, you know, Divine Mother, and she couldn't be in that physical form. She had to
Right.
create these avatars, and the first creation she made was the four elements. And there were souls that embodied those elements. But as you said, we are all have the elements within us. These are all things that anybody can tap into and reach that point where they have them all within them. Now, not everybody on this planet has tapped into all those elements and united them within, but many in your field and in your circle have
Yes.
got that ability. And like you were just describing, that is something that can be done is at that time, you know, if you're needing those elements, they can appear in a multitude of ways and in a multitude of people. She did have a
Beautiful.
higher connection with some of the people that were there on that trip, though. It goes a little bit more deeper than just elements.
Sure. Beautiful.
But yes, both ways are working. Both ways are fitting in that situation.
Wonderful. Thank you for that information. So, also, she was wondering who are her dragons, their names, their colors, what they're working on. So many questions.
She's holding some of them right now. She just received crystals today, and right when she was waiting for you was finding out their names and her connection with them. So she asked that question, and we already brought her the answer before your call started. But she has many, many more. Her soul, like yours, Wendy, you have so many, just like your
So
connection, you know,
many.
you have with the crystals. I mean, it's endless for you guys. There's more, so many to name off. It's just like when you call in the spirit guides, it's like we would be here for hours going over
Yes.
the people and the
Yes.
connections you have. And
I
it's a beautiful thing.
it
These
really
souls
is.
love you guys. They cherish you. You all do amazing work together throughout all these lifetimes, and they'll always be by your side, and they are proud to be by your side. And it's beautiful to see each lifetime the forgetting, the remembering, the forgetting, the remembering, but coming back into that awareness and building that bond again with them. They look so forward to it, as do you. And
Yes,
gosh,
it's a beautiful experience. And each time you're like, oh, cool. Pleased to meet your acquaintance again.
yeah. Christina is
So,
aware, and I'm not sure if you're aware, Wendy. So maybe this will bring you awareness, or you might already be aware of it, but you can create dragons and place them within souls. So
Yeah.
this is also a reason why you have so many dragons, because you have the ability to create dragons. And
Yes, I have
that is a
brought
powerful thing.
I have brought many into existence and assisting with joining dragons to their partners for some that already exist, and we're looking for that refreshed or a reunion, shall we say, of the earth being with the dragon being. So so those are beautiful to watch those connections, and also to help, you know, when you're just around, and I don't know, maybe Christina has discovered this, but as you're around others, that just your energy alone begins to awaken their memories. It may not be the way they understand it, but it has happened.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You,
So I'm gonna,
you,
oh, go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say you both have extraordinary gifts and abilities, and especially at activating people. And you haven't even begun to tap the surface yet, actually,
No,
on
I feel
what
like I
you're
missed one.
going to be able to do.
I got my eyes picked out.
It's coming. It's coming very soon, sooner than you think, actually. You and Christina both have an extraordinary ability that nobody has really ever seen here before. And it's going to be seen, it's going to be noticed, and it's going to be needed by people all over the world. So you're going to have busy calendars. You're going to be in a let's say a spotlight, and you're leaving a legacy here. You're truly touching so many different souls and sharing your wisdom and knowledge and leaving back behind so much for this planet, and you will never be forgotten for that. And it's
Wow.
going to be a beautiful thing to see and for you to be a part of.
Of course, now my ego's saying, huh, when's that happening? No.
Can we start this yesterday, please?
So now there's a children's situation where I started writing based off of how she wrote it in her questions, that there's a lesson to learn with a question mark. Is there a hybrid program? Was there abduction? And is this all contract related?
She's aware that there are entities and the beings that are taking care of her children, their grandparents, and they were sent in to interfere on her journey. This was an experience for her to learn and grow, and it was supposed to be an experience for them to learn and grow. We cannot force who learns and grows. Christina has learned and grown from the experience and sees it for what it is. They, per se, refuse to do that. Now she is getting little bits and pieces. Now it's coming up to where she's going to start receiving a lot more detail on when, where, how, why, all, regarding the situation, but things will be coming to light for her situation. Truths will be told, and people will not be able to run from what they've done anymore or get away with it. It's, let's just say, karma's coming around for her, and she's on the light side of that, as where the other people are not. She's been dying to know, because of course this has been the most important thing to her for so many years now, and it's been something she's dreamt of, but that seemed impossible to happen. But God's using her to show that nothing is impossible. And when you follow source and you put your heart and soul into it, there is a reward, many of them. But God's using her as an example. And that's why we can't share too much before time. This is one of those
That's
parts of her
fine.
journey where she's having to trust. And it's also about the surprise for her. God's
So,
really wanting to keep this a big surprise for her. It's going to be huge.
yes, we can't eat all the cake at once.
And she hates that. She
um,
just wants to eat the whole cake right now.
we all feel that
She's like,
way.
give me a cup of
You
milk,
know,
I'm good. Just give me some milk and cake, I'm good.
but then where's the fun in, without the surprises? So And who did we incarnate as in the very beginning? And what's her connection with Enki and Enlil?
Many of the texts have been distorted about that, and they have changed what the truth of the history was. Many of the Anunnaki rewrote all of the history and put things like in their favor. Along with doing that, they knew the power that she held, and they would manipulated text to give the appearance of something else. She knows in her soul who she is and what her soul always does, as God has told her, even when she's in darkness, the difference between her and other people is she always makes every choice from her heart, and she makes the right choice. She doesn't come from the place of hate or revenge or anything of the lower energies. She always comes from her heart. So as she's reading these texts, that's a part of her journey too, and that discernment and learning what's for her and not. Those are tests for her to realize, like, are you going to believe this? Or that goes against everything that you stand for. Do you really think that that's even true? And she's done very good at picking through that, and she was really wanting just confirmation on that, to know that she's gotten it right. Like what she felt in her heart, which goes against what other people say, is it true? She got it right. She knows. Source has been showing her so much on this journey and trying to build her up into believe in herself, and which her intuition, especially, because it's never wrong. And you know how it is, though. We all like that confirmation. Even after Source
Yes,
brings you confirmation, you love to hear it from somebody else, and we understand that. And so that's why we're always understanding, and we'll bring it forward again and again and again if you guys need us to.
that's
So
funny.
hopefully today this will help her understand more and start to believe in it more and not need that confirmation. That's the point that we hope to get you all to, where you don't even need that confirmation anymore from anybody. You are that in tune with yourself and the divine that you know what you know. So I'm
Yes,
glad that she asked that question, just so I could bring forward this message and give her that awareness that we are wanting her to have about it
wonderful. So, well, I've got you. I would like to ask or bring up a question that I think is kind of fun.
right
So
now. We
my
don't like
like
fun around here. You can't do that. No, I'm not going to answer you.
so, and I've shared this with the group that that when we get together, our channeling group, but I get the very vivid dreams in my astral travel and my journeys. And then the other day, as I was waking up, I heard it's my dream team. And of course it had that double connotation, or what do they call that? A double entendre, or how, I don't know exactly how it said, but
Mhm.
they were calling themselves the dream team, and it had that kind of that sports team, like, yes, we're the best of the best.
Yeah.
And then also the fact that they were the ones helping me remember in great detail the vividness of my dreams. Now I know who my main guides are, but is it the main guides that are my dream team, or is it someone else or others? It's a collective. I know it's a group, but
It's the galactic. It's your galactic selves that is that dream team. It is the higher versions of you. And Wendy, this was just coming to Christina's awareness as you were talking, and so I need to share this now because I should have elaborated when the question came up that you were asking about the similarities between your energies and you know um and how you were feeling the same thing. You are as well somebody that carries Divine Mother's energies. There were going to be 7 of you in this lifetime. And Christina was just coming into the awareness that you are one of those other 7. So that is part of why you guys connect so well and have a lot of the same information come up, or memories and experiences. It's due to that connection.
wow, that's so exciting. I remember I remember when I first began doing this work and first started doing channeling and healing, one of the key things that kept being repeated to me was that you won't you won't believe your power first,
Hmm.
But when you do and you understand it, that it's going to be so important for you to stay humble. And that was
Yeah.
such a key word that they kept throwing at me. And I kept thinking, like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna puff myself up and be like, oh, look at all the stuff I can do? And even now with the confirmations of what I've already been understanding and have known, I don't feel that that I'm gonna go running around promoting myself per se. I know also that the promotion will be happening nonetheless, that it's kind of
Hmm.
like, well, you're gonna have to step into it because that's your role here. um,
We've had to do
but
opposite with Christina. The source has been telling her that people are not going to understand your humbleness. So, but then she had to also differentiate between owning who she is and standing in her power and realizing that's not ego, because ego would try to step in and then try to say, oh, this is not you being humble. You're not being humble. And it's like, no, I'm owning who I am. And she was doing it correctly. And that's what we recommend for you too. Don't put guilt on though when you do have to step up and stand in that presence and that power and own who you are. There's a difference between owning it and letting it own you and become you. And you're going to do just fine at it, just like her. It's something that your souls have mastered by now. In the beginning,
yeah.
there was times like Christina, she's so cautious now and like does, and make sure that she's humble because she knows she used it wrong in the past. She knows in the beginning she let her ego get to her. So now her soul is so overcautious about it. It's something that she doesn't have to worry about now. And the same goes for you. You have already reached that point where you're not a concern. We're not concerned with you about that. And if ever there's a point where either one of you do that, you both know that you can count on that other one to bring it to your attention and say something. So you've got support. You each got somebody that's always going to have your back and be there to help you if that ever does happen. And that's a beautiful thing to see and have.
Wow. What's the question in the room that I haven't asked that I should have?
What's the question in the what? In the room, you
In the
said?
room, in the room. You know, that unspoken question that's bouncing around in our
Yeah.
heads that we didn't ask, that we should have asked, that you are wanting us to ask. What's that question? And what's the
What's
answer?
next? What's next? What's next? What do I need to focus? What's going to happen? Or what do I need to be focused on? Yourself and making sure that you're giving yourself everything you need all the time. Make that time for yourself. Do the things that you want. If your soul's wanting to go out and have a night out on the town with the girls, go do it. Don't let anything step in your way. If you're needing a break, take your break. When you are giving yourself everything that you deserve and need, your frequency just completely shifts into this work of art that is affected and seen by all. And that's the energies we want you always to stay in because that's that energy that's going to make an impact here. That's that energy that just shifts all the darkness out without even trying. So we're always going to be here encouraging you to love yourself, pour unto yourself, and make sure that your needs matter too, just as much as everybody else's in your life.
Mhm.
You all have big hearts and you love to help people, but also don't let that make it where you don't make enough time for you. You're not here just to serve every single person on this planet. You're not here to save the world and save everybody. You're here to save yourself. And then that alone is going to shift everything for everyone
I
else.
say that a lot.
So, yes, to pour unto you. Be kind to yourself. Be loving to yourself. That the same care that you give to all the people that touch your heart in your life, give it to yourself for once. Stop giving it to everybody else but you. And that's your focus. It's just being okay, being that perfect being that perfectly imperfect being that you are every day. And truly owning that and getting comfortable being in these shoes. And make it where it's the everyday thing, where it's no longer a struggle to be yourself or, to stand in those powers. It's being comfortable in it and truly embodying all of the aspects of the multitude of aspects of who you are, because they're all
Yes,
beautiful and needed right now.
it's
That's all we
dramatic.
really want you to
So
focus on. That is
thank
beautiful.
you. That's such a beautiful message, and I thank you for sharing that. So, last question of the night. I promise. Last question of the night.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
So many of us, many of us have been noticing, of course, these physical symptoms of tiredness and achiness and et cetera, et cetera. When will that be done? I feel like
Not
it's
soon
been,
enough. Not soon enough.
I feel like that's been years before COVID, but so intense, probably since 2019, um,
Oh,
with
yes.
needing
And
so
this
much
is
more
why we
rest,
recommend, yeah, this is why we
taking
recommend
care
that
of
people start the
ourselves.
journey and working on yourself and over time, because when you do it all at once, it's too much for the body to handle. Can you imagine just like the little bit you've been doing it and how much it affects you? Could you imagine if you had to go through all that at just one time? This is why we break it up. But right now it's different because, as you're shifting, so is the earth. And the
Yes.
frequencies that have been being pumped into this planet intentionally by devices and everything else has been so low. And your bodies are no longer used to the frequency that we are now adapting to again. So it is very harsh on your body when you are shifting with the planet like this. Your body, your mind, let's say your soul knows these. We're familiar with these energies a long time ago, but it's been so long. You're now adapted to what your environment has been, and now that is changing. So it does have an adverse effect at first on your body. You are you're on this shift of evolution, and you're rising with Gaia, and just like you're feeling, can you imagine how Gaia is feeling? So
Yeah,
this is where we always encourage for us to be pouring into each other, be sending love and healing energy as out to everybody as well, because we're all going through this together as a family right now, as one being under source. We are all going through this together. It's an adjustment, but luckily it doesn't take too long before your body adjusts to that next phase that just was brought
yes.
in, that new increase, but it is
These new
hard when
light
you're
codes
going
we've
through
been
it.
anchoring. Yeah, the new light codes we've been anchoring have been incredibly intense. So, but those are
And
almost
honestly,
those.
it doesn't matter. Oh, sorry.
uh,
It doesn't matter what you do, you're going to experience that. There's nothing really we can. The only thing you can do is be working on yourself. But even when you work on yourself, you can still feel these intensely, and it's that adjustment period. It is the having to get used to being in that frequency again, and your body needs to adjust to where it doesn't feel it every day. It kind of, it gets acclimated to that new frequency, but there is that rough period just while you're getting to the acclimation point. So just
Beautiful.
be kind to yourself. If you need a rest, don't beat yourself up. If you're being lazy that week, okay, that's what your body needs. So you don't need to beat yourself up about it because you have self love and you love and respect yourself. So you're giving your body what it says it needs. So there's no, some people though, because of the way the world programs you, you feel guilty. I got work to do. I need to do this. I should be doing this. I shouldn't be lazy today. But it's like, but your body needs that. So yes, you should. So just always love
Beautiful.
and honor yourself and remember that. I have no reason to feel guilty. I'm giving myself what it needs. And that is exactly all I'm supposed to do. I just said the message before, it's all about giving taking care of you and your needs. So you never have a reason to feel guilty when you're doing that.
Beautiful. What a beautiful note to end this journey on. So,
Thank you. Thank you for bringing this forward for Christina today. She very much appreciates it. And she's very excited that you were doing
yes,
this today.
we've both got some beautiful information from it. So I thank you for your willingness to step forward and connect in this manner, and so that we can also understand more deeply our connection one with another.